Peace, peace. It's your girl, Morgan Renee Myers, tuning in for another reading of Feeding the Soul by Tabitha Brown. Getting mine. All right. And we are on chapter 14. It's been a minute, so let's get right into it. This chapter is entitled Mind Your Business with Love. It starts off with a quote by Cicely Tyson that reads, "Challenges make you discover things about yourself that you never really knew." In March 2020, my son was diagnosed with motor tics. When it first started, we noticed that he kept scratching his eyes and jerking his head, kept stretching his eyes and jerking his head a little bit. It was literally around the exact same time that COVID-19 hit the United States, and he was having fevers and just wasn't feeling well overall. One day, he threw up at school, and we had to go pick him up. I had already planned to take him to a doctor's appointment to check out his eye movements and jerking, so I told Chance I'm going to take him to the doctor anyway because he's running this little fever, and I want to make sure he doesn't have no virus or whatever. I wasn't exactly thinking about the coronavirus. I was just thinking, oh, he must have picked up a bug from somewhere, and while I'm there, I'm going to ask about the eye jerking. Going to the doctor, my heart was racing. I'd already looked up the symptoms online and read about a couple of different possibilities, but I was still unfamiliar with it all. We never dealt with something like this before. When you see your child doing something that is not their norm and you can't control it, it can send you into a little bit of panic mode, even if the child isn't complaining about it. It was upsetting. So I shared with the doctor what we had noticed, and as I started to get really into talking about it, she silenced me. "Wait 1 minute, please." Apparently, she noticed it too. Question was sitting there reading a book, not really paying attention to us. Finally, she said, "Quest, I'm going to step outside and talk to your mom for a second, okay?" "Okay," he said. Now I'm really nervous. "What you are seeing is called motor tics," the doctor said. She went on to explain what motor tics are and that some children have them starting around 6 or 7 years old, but usually by the time they're teens, they grow out of it. Definitely before adulthood. Sometimes tics can be caused by genetics, and sometimes it could be just from anxiety. There's no real reason or source that can be identified. It just happens to a lot of children. We knew nothing about this. No one in our families, that we knew of anyway, had any record of it happening. So when she explained it, I instantly thought, oh my God, there's something wrong with his nervous system. I started blaming myself. It's because I suffer from anxiety. Then the doctor said, "Listen, I brought you out here in the hallway because it always affects others more than it affects the person who's going through it. Has he complained about it?" "No, he hasn't," I said. "Right, because it's not bothering him. It's bothering you." She went on with a word of advice. We have to be careful about bringing it up. If he doesn't bring it up, you don't bring it up. I understand it's hard to watch, but the more you bring attention to it, the worse it can make it. So the best thing you could do is to ignore it, however hard that may be. By this time, Chance had walked into the office, having come from work. The doctor shared with him what she told me. "Try not to overreact," she said. "He is going to be fine. It's nothing major, and there's no reason to medicate. Just allow it to take its course, and don't let it cause any anxiety in you." Honey, that thing hurt my heart. As a parent, seeing him not be himself was so hard. Chance and I both cried. We were just overwhelmed with emotion, but we were now being asked to pull it together and act like nothing was wrong. But that's what we did. We watched these tics come and go. When Question is super excited or a bit anxious, they come even more often. And I still wish I could make them stop. They're not painful or uncomfortable to him, just us parents. Question never complains about them. And it's only now, even as I write this, that I realize there is a lesson to be learned from this experience. There will be times when we'll see someone going through something, and for whatever reason, they are living with it just fine, but we think we're supposed to bring attention to it. We think we're supposed to make a big deal out of it, but we do that because we're agitated by whatever is happening, not them. And in doing so, we run the risk of forever changing how they see themselves. Now we have them thinking something is wrong. Honey, when it comes to grown folks, sometimes it's just good to mind our business in the most loving way possible. How someone who is a full-fledged adult lives their life is just not our business. Sometimes the things that happen to them are not our business. Sometimes the things that happen to them are not our business. Even if we see it, even if we notice it, even if it's not causing them harm or inflicting pain on others, then honey, sometimes it just ain't our business. We have to stop attaching ourselves to other people's problems. Sometimes we are actually creating a problem that wasn't there in the first place. Because let me tell you what I know to be true. Had my husband and I ignored what the doctor said and instantly started catering to this thing and making it a big deal, it might have destroyed our child's confidence. It could have made him feel insecure. It could have silenced him and caused more harm than good. We had to make a choice. Even though it was a very difficult to watch as parents, to put aside what we thought was normal or perfect, we had to sit back and let our child be the human he is. This is his personality. This is his journey. There's a reason he's going through it. My job is to love him through the process, not bring it up all the time. To be a mama, as I always have been, and support him. So I hope that if you're witnessing something ain't happening in someone's life, not life-threatening or harmful things, but simple day-to-day choices and experiences, and it's killing you inside not to say something, let this story be a little reminder to ask yourself, if I bring attention to whatever this thing is, am I going to help the person or am I going to hurt the person? And if you know for certain, without a shadow of a doubt, that there's nothing you can do to help in that moment, then maybe don't say anything at all. Maybe continue to love them just as they are and let whatever it is pass. And if it doesn't pass, let it be. Because that's part of who they are now and how they're supposed to be. You mind your business and be okay with it. Okay, Tab. She got us together real quick. That was a nice little personal story. All right, and then she gives a recipe at the end, pico de gallo stuffed avocado. She said, I love avocado. I love pico de gallo. If you put them together, it's really guacamole. But honey, when I'm trying to act fancy, I just stuff the pico in the avocado and it's equally delicious. This is also a wonderful breakfast option, especially when you're trying to eat healthier and need something quick. So you have a ripe avocado, some pico de gallo, some fresh lime juice, roasted garlic, vegan parmesan. She said start with the right avocado, cut it in half and remove the pit. Put some pico de gallo and stuff it into your avocado. And then try her mango de gallo on page 68. She got a recipe for that. Get your little lime juice and squirt some on top. Sprinkle some roasted garlic, vegan parmesan on top. See how easy that is? Baby, you are ready to eat. And that's the end of chapter 14, Mind Your Business with Love. The next chapter is 15 Secrets Make Us All Sick. So we'll tap into that in a little bit. Thank y'all for tuning in. See you next time. Peace.